to 59 Minutes. My name is Ebenezer. Every now and then we like to talk about issues to do with the scourge of cancer. And we like to bring you stories of people who are doing things that are giving hope in the society and hope to people that are battling the disease. This morning I'm speaking to a lady and a gentleman who have gone through this journey as a couple. And they not only went through the journey, they were able to start the Ebenezer Cancer Support Foundation. Please join me in welcoming Mr. and Mrs. MWEU. Karibuni sana.
Thank you.
Glad to have you here.
Thank you.
Let me just start by saying, tell us about your journey with cancer. Any of you can go, and how we then ended up at the foundation. How did it start?
Well, it's interesting how my journey started. And if I may say this, because I would like many people to get some help from it. Our bodies sometimes give signals that we don't sometimes take them. And so this used to happen time after time in the year 1995, around there. It used to give me problems, flu, coughs. But anyway, from there, I had to be checked and I was clear. They thought that I had throat cancer.
But before that, you had tried to treat it, ile kawaida. You take cough syrups,
yeah.
nini.
Okay, in fact, the issue was I had taken lots of antibiotics. Then they said, this is too much. You need to be checked. Because I would have chest infection, I would have coughs. So finally they decided that's too much. And I was referred to hospital. They checked, they put camera, they checked, they said my throat was clear. I took second opinion. I went to MPSHA, that was in Eldoret. Now I moved Eldoret to MPSHA, Nairobi. They also checked and they said I do not have throat cancer. So the journey continued. That time I was in Baraton University. So after finishing, I came back to Nairobi, and I decided to go for my further studies. That's in UK. When I went there, the same problems continued. They gave me antibiotics. In fact, the first day we went there, I had chest infection and lots of problems. So I went to hospital.
Initially, what were you thinking that could be?
Well, I wouldn't, because they cleared me from cancer. So I thought it's just a normal chest infection, which continued time after time. So UK, they started doing that the same. I was checked, I was x-rayed, chest infection, I was treated. After 2 weeks, they took another x-ray, I was cleared. But it went on, well, on and off, till one of the doctors, GPs, told me, Mr. Matigo, you have taken lots of antibiotics. We need to book you for thorough screening. And that was done. I was to go for a thorough screening after a month. But before then, I got so ill and I had to be admitted to hospital. And serious examination started from there. And this was in the year 2001. It went on through to around December. And then the doctor told me, Mr. Matigo, you've got multiple myeloma, and that's cancer. And my real journey, knowing what is disturbing me, started from there.
Yeah. Let me ask from her perspective, because there's always the helper who sees different. Huh?
Yes.
How was it like for you, Mama?
It was very hard because you see, when you go to abroad, because immediately we landed in London, then he got all this problem. Then he said, Lord, we have come all this way. And then this is what is happening. So I couldn't understand, I was getting stressed. So I remember the day just like yesterday, when he was told that he has cancer. He came home, I was there with my 2 children. So I asked him, oh, what did the doctor say? He just said it, just bah. The doctor has just told me that I have cancer. So I just looked at him. I didn't want to ask any other question because the children were there. And we continued with other discussion, and later he told me, you know, I need to go with you to see my doctor. He can explain better. That is when now we met this doctor. He explained to me now exactly what will happen, and he said he's going to give him treatment. But to me it was a big shock, because UK, if you are not working, both of you, it is a nightmare. You have to work, both of you, to get enough to pay bills, to pay the rent.
Yeah.
Now he is
And now there's a
sick.
sickness. Yeah.
How am my children, they are in school, they are young.
And you could not access any help from government.
Yes, because we were on a student visa.
Oh dear.
So I started working. I remember when he was admitted, most of the time, I had to go and work in the night time, and daytime, I go and stay with him in the hospital. So I would leave maybe around 6 p.m. to go back home, to have a shower, sleep 1 hour, go back to work.
Maybe if you would start from when we went to the doctor.
Yes.
Yeah, we left house, went to the doctor, and because I was again, our reaction scared me.
Yes,
and that's why I
shocked.
said the doctor would want to talk to us.
Yes.
The word cancer had not scared you.
I was scared
you know.
because of her response.
Yes.
See, with me, I didn't take it that, but the way she responded, I got a bit scared. Why did I put it that way? So I said, okay, the doctor would want to talk to us.
Yes.
And so when we went there, we sat with the doctor. And thank God, he had all the time to listen to us and to tell us. He took us from
step by step.
Step by step. He said, Mr. Mativo, yes, he was telling her, Mr. Mativo has got cancer, multiple myeloma. And this, according to the condition, will give him about 2.5 years. And then she asked, 2.5 years? Don't we have another person who has lived beyond 2.5 years?
And I think I also had faith. Even though he said 2.5 years, I thought we have a God who can still do miracles. And also I looked back and said, Lord, you can't bring us to this country. And then my husband comes here
What year
and
is that?
died. 2000. And
We
that
went
was
there
2000.
and
The diagnosis,
was 2001.
Yeah, so it was 2001
Yeah.
when we went to see the doctor.
Around
so
December.
to me, I was challenging this doctor. He was a professor, telling him that my husband can live many more years. And I think that is what helped me to move on and be able to be a great support to my husband, because I wanted to prove this doctor wrong, that I know there is a God.
So now they've given you the diagnosis.
Yes.
What was now the next
Yes,
step?
the doctor after that said, we have, in fact, the doctor first sent us to a counselor, nurse counselor. We sat down with the nurse counselor. He took us through.
At least they did. They don't do that here.
Well, they did that.
Yeah,
We sat down with the nurse counselor. The nurse counselor took us through the process and the administration of the chemos. And they said, you'll be okay. You'll be okay. And send us back to the doctor. So when we reached to the doctor, I said, now, Mr. Mativo, we've got, there were 2 ways into which, 2 medications. And he mentioned them to me. I don't remember them, even the terms. I said, now, it's up to you to choose which one.
And I'm sure you've never heard of them before.
Yeah.
At that point.
Well, but they give you
the explanation.
Yes, they explain to you,
say, yeah.
and they tell you, with this one,
This is what happens.
you may expect this.
Mhm.
With this one, you may expect. In fact, I think one of them, they said, you'll lose your hair,
Mhm.
and there would be lots of problems. You have news, you may have swellings, and he said it will also depend on you. So, fine, we said, when do you start? Go think about it and come see us tomorrow. So I like the way they did it. They gave us time. And again, you see, they tell you, if you have any question, please
Please ask.
ask or call us on this number. Your nurse, in fact, that they appoint nurses. They name a nurse for you. So you can always call the nurse and discuss the matter, ask questions. And the nurse can also call you to find out how you're doing. So then, after that, they discussed. In fact, I found it a bit funny. They called a few doctors. They sat down with me. And after that, we agreed on
the way forward now.
on the way forward. And I started. Unfortunately, when I started the medication, something happened. The first, I think it was to go 4 rounds. It was to go 4 days, 1 round 4 days, which they'd given a pump, just a tie here, and go home with it. Unfortunately, I developed some infection. The line was in here, through there, and to the heart. So from here all the way, there was an infection.
Oh, yeah.
So after the 4 days, the hand was swollen, red, and painful. So they removed the line. Now you know another problem comes in, blood clots, and serious ones. So I had to be admitted because they said there were clots.
Yeah, and if they travel, that's
there were clots here because again the line had gone from here all the way down to the heart. So they said the clots were around here, and others were here because this hand was so swollen and very painful. So I was admitted for about a month. I had to take these concurrent injections of concurrents, and after that
to break down the clots,
to thin the blood. So after that, they gave me some some medication to inject at home. So every morning, I used to inject myself just to continue thinning. Anyway, after maybe 2 months, they called me, they examined me, and they were able to continue.
Yeah, let me ask Mama. You know, when I usually hear stories like yours, so we speak about it here and it sounds it's just a sentence. How was this day by day like?
It was hard. Because in my mind, I'm thinking, the doctor said 2.5 years. That one is coming in my mind. I see him struggling now. Already there are problems. Hey, so what will happen now? And again, he was very courageous. Even when he was having that pump, before the hand got swollen, he could go to work in the night. He could go to work.
Put on the jacket
and put a tunic, and he has a pump, and he go to work. Because also he was trying to help me pay the bills, do all this. And it was hard. I could only tell, I'll manage, but you know, he could feel like, you know, like a man that, you know, I need to support I need to do something when I can. And he did that until when he was told to go and have a bone marrow transplant now, which also was a process. And you are told it's 50-50. You go in or you don't come out.
Something very interesting I would never forget. Before they called me for it was 6 months, then I finished July I finished the chemo. The rounds of the chemo, I think 6 rounds. And after that, they gave me some time to rest and observe me. Then, after that, they called me after about a month. That was about October. They called me back for blood stem transplant. You know, that time I was working, I'd started working, and it appeared that I was getting good money. And they tell me, Mr. Mativo, come in for blood stem transplant. I was trying to ask them, hey, please give me maybe 2 weeks. They told me, no, you have to come in. So anyway, this was in bid to work out and help try to raise some funds because of the family. But anyway, I went in, they took plasma from my blood. They would just draw it from one hand and the blood goes back to my hand till they got enough. I think it took about 3 days.
They were harvesting.
To harvest my blood plasma. Then they clean it and remove all the affected cells. So then, again after a month, that's now October, they gave back to me. They had to administrate a chemo that would kill all the cells in my body and then give me my new cells. Then start a new life. It was not easy. And that's where the doctor advised me and told me, Samativo, this is a 50-50 process. You either succumb to it or you manage
I like
it.
how upfront they are.
Yeah. And
Because
the question
information
was,
is power.
will you take it?
Yeah.
And I said, yes, let's go for it. And the process started.
I remember when he was going to have that, you went also with another young man of 20 years. They were just, the rooms were only just facing each other. So every morning I would go and say hi to the young man, hi, and I'm going to see him. But one day I went, the bed was empty. So the young man had died.
He succumbed.
Yes, 20 years. He was only 20. So imagine what is now going into my mind.
I can imagine.
He has gone. That time my husband was so sick that he could not even walk. He lost 10 kg.
Yeah. In
He
fact,
was
I was
so weak, he
bedridden.
couldn't even go to toilet. He was bad. And then the other young man has died. It was quite...
Yeah, that usually is very mentally taxing.
Yes. And then I remember one night, he called me. Around 2 a.m., he said, I'm just calling to tell you that I don't think I'll see tomorrow. I said, what? The way I'm feeling, I don't think I'll see tomorrow. So the nurse had given him the phone to talk to me. So I said, have you lost your faith? He asked him, have you lost your faith? And you need to keep on fighting. Then I remembered there was a pastor who had come to see us and the wife. And I can mention his name was Pastor Kirago, John Kirago, and the wife Priscilla Kirago. They had come all the way from London and we were living in northwest
Liverpool.
So they had traveled that Friday night. So I remembered, oh, Pastor is here. So I just went straight to their bedroom. I told Pastor, come on, you have to wake up. Talk to my husband. So the pastor spoke to him. He reminded him of God's promises. You know, God is with you. And I am sure tomorrow we'll see you'll be there. So the pastor prayed with him on the phone. So I didn't sleep now, waiting for that morning.
I feel your story very much. The mental anguish.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that.
It's one thing. I'd worked in the healthcare sector and I had seen people who had this bug, MRSA. They didn't live. That time, the greatest problem I had was the MRSA I contracted during the procedure. And that had, you see, there was a line which had put through the chest here, way up to the vein and back to the heart. So, from here to here, it was a hollow now because of the MRSA. There was a hole, and the MRSA, it's past watery. So whenever the doctors would open this, it would just pour off. So one of the doctors said, Mr. Mativo, don't worry. We'll take care of this. And I was given an antibiotic. I think he said it is used mostly in India. And that was nasty. Real nasty. And I would think, I have seen people with this problem. It didn't take them long. Is there where I'm going? And it went on that way. But this doctor told me, Samativo, this one, so long as you take, even if you vomit, because I would feel sick, even if you vomit everything, so long it has gone in, you are safe. And surely, this doctor encouraged me. I took that medication, but somehow he left, and whatever happened, I don't know, the medication was stopped. And that's the time I started seeing hallucinations. I would feel like I'm flying somewhere, and I would look around, and then I said, now I think this is my end. This is the time. Also, the nurses would come and look at me, and they knew something was not right. So the nurses asked me, do you want to talk to your wife? I says, yes. And this, when I talked to my wife and told her, I think
you feel like this thing
I
is...
feel things are not right. But after praying with the pastor, in the morning, I was able to talk again. Things, all that I felt was gone. See, sometimes faith in God helps people. So anyway, the doctor helped, and they stuck maggots in this hole, and finally, after a month, I was able to come out of my bed.
Wow.
Yeah.
I want to fast forward because the time is really going. Can you imagine? We have like 30 minutes. So this process, and I wish we had more time. This process took how long before you were able to begin to see yourself get healthy again?
Right. I started around early January for chemotherapy, went to around July. And then from there to October, I had my blood stem transplant. And then I was in the hospital till March the following year. I came out. And of course, I was very weak.
Yes, of course, I can imagine.
I've been taken back and forth to hospital just for examinations, being checked.
Yeah.
And then from there, I used to have weekly checks. Went to monthly checks, went to 2 months, went to 3 months. Now, I usually go for either 3 months or 4 months, depending on what the doctor thinks I should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, when I had cancer myself, I used to joke that my wife became a herbalist. Is that what happened with you?
Yes. Because when he left the hospital, I decided that I just started researching what he need to take to boost his immune, to fight cancer cells. That's all what I was doing. I used to do nights, and that is what, during my break time, I'm just doing this. What can I prepare for him tomorrow? All that. And then I had some friends who are also, to have friends around you, it's very important. There are those who really supported us. And by doing what they were doing, I was also encouraged to do even more. So I started preparing this juicing and healthy meal. He stopped eating some of the food, and we put other healthy meals on his plate, and we could see him recovering, doing well. We could see him, he was okay, and within a short time, and he liked working, he doesn't like sitting down, he's a very hard working man. So immediately after a few months, he was able to get up and...
My son did a great work for taking me out for a walk. In fact, we started just going around the street, back to the house. Went on, I was able to go several streets, and finally I was able to go very far. And by the way, I would meet one of the registrar's doctors. Say, Mr. Mativo, keep going, well done. And well, exercise is very good. I used to walk around.
Wow.
Even today, I
look at you, that's walking. 201, it's now 2022.
Yeah, now he has turned 65.
Wow.
Yes.
How long ago since you completely stopped any medication?
immediately after the transplant. When
The
he
transplant
finished,
was the last chemo
Yes.
that I got. Others are just like another flus and
Yeah.
so
maybe.
since 2003, he has not
Although
had.
during that period, I would say the medication, there's a time I was very weak and my immune was very low. There's a period I was put on antibiotics, and then after I was okay, they stopped, they discontinued. And since then,
So since 2003, he has
Mhm.
not had any medication or anything to do with the cancer.
Wow.
So we we decided to change his lifestyle, whatever he drinks, whatever he eats, being active life, and it's fine.
Amazing.
Yeah.
We have about 10 minutes, but I want us to now go into what you started. You talked about, this is the Ebenezer Cancer Support Foundation. You decided not just to stop at getting better, because some people get better, and that's it.
yes, well, there I told you we had the support groups. I came here with my wife one time, and unfortunately we met friends with the cancer, and the word cancer was good enough just to finish someone.
The death
Kill someone.
sentence.
Yes. So after seeing this, we thought, why don't we organize and get a place, meet these people, talk to them? And that's what we did. However, many of them did not want to come. They did not want to be identified that they had cancer, because they would think, all people, they say that I'm bewitched, and so many other things. So we kept on encouraging. The first meetings we had, we met in Better Living Center, Milimani.
Like how many people the first meetings?
We started about 7, went
Yeah.
to about 16.
Usually start small.
Yes,
Mm.
went
Yeah.
to about 16 and went on. But that time, okay, someone advised us just from within the group that we need to come up with we need to register ourselves so that we can come up with our own ways of doing things. Because that time we were partnering with the Lishibora. So we had to come out. And then we registered our NGO as Ebenezer Cancer Support Foundation. And we opened office in Kitengela. That was 2019, around November. Then we started meeting again. Remember, now people are fewer. We started growing the number again. Unfortunately, 2020 February, that's when we had our last meeting. COVID came in,
Yeah.
and then
Delta
destabilized
blocked
everything.
yeah.
But around October somewhere 2019, we now started communicating with WhatsApp. Unfortunately,
2020.
2020, we started communicating with the WhatsApp, advising, communicating with people, encouraging them, and we had given them time. They could call 24 hours. We didn't mind. Anytime someone wanted to hear from us or to give some encouraging words, we told them to call us anytime. So when we started that in 2020, we decided we needed to reach people, to sensitize the community. And so we did our first medical camp in Kitengela outside Equity Bank, whereby we did BP, blood pressures, and also blood sugars. And then, because we didn't have a doctor then, we advised, we referred them to go to see the doctor because of what if they had high blood pressure or blood sugar.
Yeah.
So about 200 people came in, and then from there we had another medical camp with the Rainbow Bus, 2021 that is. And that one we partnered with the Equity Afia Hospital in Kitengela. And about 200 people were treated, 500 people reported there. We were able to advise people on lifestyle change. This is on how to eat, and also advise them they needed to think on how they can have their kitchen gardens. Then the last one was, the last medical camp we did was Kitengela East SDA Church, whereby about 500 people were seen in partnership with Equity Afia. And Ebenezer sponsored 33 people to be screened, 23 people to be screened on cervix and prostate cancer and also breast cancer. So from there, activities of Ebenezer cancer, again, we thought, because during that time we also appeared in KTN, and people started calling us, asking us, where can we see you? We need to know, we need to learn some few things from you guys. So the idea of coming up with the lifestyle center now was of paramount importance. We started thinking of that. And so this year, 2022, in fact, we started planning last year. 2022, February, we decided we climb Mount Kenya to raise funds to help build lifestyle center whereby we can meet these people and have even doctors come in, have massage to these people. And those who are coming from far, you see, they need some rest also. They can rest somewhere, be seen, be advised, and also have kitchen gardens whereby they can be shown what to do practically when they go home.
So that is the dream now.
That's the dream. And now, at this moment, we have part 2, of which probably you have seen in that paper. This is going to be September 9th. We want to raise at least 10 M so that we can have a place and build up so that we can reach the community. And not the community around, but the whole Kenya. We want to serve everyone. We want everybody to know that cancer, you can live with cancer. It's not a death sentence. It's all sometimes what you take and how you deal with it. When you get your chemo, you need something much more than that. The doctor will give you chemo, come, join us, and we will work with you. You'll be given tips on how to eat, how to, the foods that will help you in detoxing your body. And that way, again, you meet people who have the same problem with you. So that you don't keep thinking you are the only person. We encourage people to come out of their houses. And this is the place you can meet with the people. If it's cry,
the stigma.
Yes. If it's cry, cry with them. If it's laughing, we have time to laugh with you. And you get to know, you learn from me, I learn from you, we learn from doctors whom we invite. We have sometimes concerts that we can invite for people to come and sing, just to relax you and know that there is way, there is hope. That's not the end of it.
Good stuff. How can you be reached, Mama?
How can I?
How can you guys be reached? For people watching.
Oh,
right
yes. We have our office in Kitengera at Mirere Center. If you go there, they will just direct you to the cancer office. But for maybe somebody who will be willing to join us in this work, supporting our people who are suffering with cancer. There are those who have no hope, but if they can have a place where they will be coming, whether you are coming from West Pokot or where, you can come and meet us, and there will be a home for you, where you come and be supported. That's why we have this walk, Climb Mount Kenya for a course in September 9th. We are calling people who are willing to come and join us, do this together. We have our pay bill, our account number, which we can give to them if that is okay.
Yeah, I think you should give a phone number. It might be too long. Give a phone number that they can reach you. Then they can get the details. Is there a phone number you have?
Yeah, you can always call. You can always call on 070 80 83 682, or you can call 0700 395 404. That way you reach us and we can talk more. And for those who want to support, they can also support through those numbers or use the account number, which I don't know whether you put on the screen somewhere, but it is on that paper if you can.
Yeah.
We have the pay bill number is 600 100 and the account number is 010000
10,000.
37167.
Yeah.
It's 010,000, yeah, 65 37 167, pay bill 600 100. Let's join hands together and support our people who are struggling, who are suffering, by building a lifestyle center where they'll come and be served.
Yeah.
Together, we can support this initiative.
Yeah.
And I'm very sure those who are well-wishers and want the community, help the community, let's join and work together, because together we can do it.
Yeah, I think right now, even after this election period is over, we shall definitely have a discussion, before September 9th,
Yeah,
so that we can encourage people to be able to partner with you.
sure.
You can also check them out on www.ebenezercancer.org. And probably get all the information on contacts and things like that.
Yeah.
Will help people to get to you. What would be your parting shot to somebody who has just been diagnosed with cancer? You talk to someone with cancer, you talk to somebody who is a caregiver.
Yeah.
Let's say, as we close.
So you say
To somebody who's just been diagnosed with cancer, what word would you leave with them this morning?
yes, I would just want them to know.
Speak to them on that camera right there.
I would just want to know, those who have been diagnosed with cancer, cancer is just like another disease. Don't fear, because fear again brings another problem. If you don't fear, you face it head on, and you'll be supported by the doctors, and from us you'll also get to know what to eat thereafter, the chemotherapy, and then we can walk the journey together, because this is just like another disease.
Now, what do you tell a caregiver?
I'm sure the caregivers, they really need a lot of support as well, because people just concentrate with the person who is sick. But the caregiver also carries the burden. He's thinking, oh, this man or this woman may die anytime. But the work of a caregiver is to continue walking the same journey with the person. I would advise all the caregivers to keep on encouraging those people, our family members who have cancer. Let's try to see how can we help them even achieve their goals. Also people who are caring for people who are not even able to come out of bed, try also to find your own time. Sometimes we concentrate a lot with the sick person and then we forget ourselves. Even if you are caring for somebody, sometimes get a break. Bring a relative to support you, and then you have a break, even if it is a day. It's very important. Otherwise, you'll also be sick.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing your story and for this great initiative that you're doing. That's Mr. Frederick and Madam Josephine MWEU. They are the founders of the Ebenezer Cancer Support Foundation. You can find them on www.ebenezercancer.org or call them on 0700 395 404. Or reach out to us. We'll connect you to them. Thank you for watching. Have a great morning. Thank you for coming. We'll be able to do this again.
Thank you, Larry,
so
for
much.
inviting us.
Yeah,
Thank
really
you.
appreciate. Stay tuned for Leah coming up with a lawsuit, and have a wonderful day.